Anti-gunners spread propaganda in the latest school killing, but ignore the fact that this school was a soft target. Radical vegans shut down a restaurant because they disagree with the menu, and New York City crime is going, well, you guessed it, way up. This is The Loaded Mic, and I'm Dan Wash. After reading several articles regarding the 15-year-old killer, Natalie Rupp now, who went on a rampage in the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin, it's apparent that the media is intent on spinning a narrative around this attack. Now, this story is a couple weeks old now, and it seems to be no longer relevant in our fast-paced media cycle. But there were a lot of interesting things said, and I'll break them down so you know what to look for when the next crisis hits. Now, first, there was very little mention of the type of gun used. Now, many publications didn't even mention that a handgun was found on the scene. Now, this is most likely because it was not a gun typically targeted for legislation. The left knows not to push for handgun bans because it'd be a failure and they'd look overzealous, ruining what little credibility they have. As much as they want universal background checks, they didn't mention background checks with this situation either, because the 15-year-old killer demonstrated to everyone exactly how ineffective the background check system is at stopping murderers, because she avoided it altogether. Now, the media and local officials did have a lot to say when the time came to spread anti-gun propaganda, and we're going to get into that. For more Second Amendment content, please check out my Good Gun, Bad Guy book series at goodgunbadguy.com. So we're going to talk about this and many other things with, he's so knowledgeable, Siri asks him questions, John Chiara. And he's really not as mean as he looks, but he will make a liberal cry just to drink their tears, Anthony Diso. All right. So this, I wanted to get into some of the propaganda around this killing. You guys have any comments so far?
That story wasn't around long, was it?
No, didn't last long.
It was like, boop, it was gone.
Yep. Because
do we have any reason why she did it?
We don't even know yet.
Because she just killed a teacher and a student, right?
Yeah.
Bullying.
Probably.
Yeah, there were. I think there were 3 total, including her that died. It's kind of amazing because what they did. Well, I'll get into a few things here. When asked if people were specifically targeted, okay, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said, I think we have a photo of him. He said everyone was targeted in this incident and everyone was put in equal danger. So this type of rhetoric clouds the fact and perpetuates unnecessary fear in the public. So everybody was a target.
We're going to randomly shoot whoever walks by, right?
Exactly. So the police chief's comment appeared to be an attempt at capitalizing on the emotions of the public, possibly for political purposes. And when I believe it was for political purposes, because when I get into more of this stuff, you'll see. But he said everyone was targeted, and the police chief is putting fear in everyone. It's irresponsible and counterintuitive at a time when people are looking for data to help them understand the situation. So he was asked, well, what was the reason? Why were they targeted for whatever reason? Everybody's a target. So what do you think Sally Soccer Mom, who's got her kids at that school, is thinking at that point? Oh my God.
But arm the kid.
Everybody's a target. It's just like, and then CNN, they jumped on. They used the attack to share what appears to be propaganda piece that discusses so-called school shootings. This is interesting. The criteria in which CNN study measures a school shooting includes everything from buildings, fields, parking lots, stadiums, and buses where a gun is fired. This includes accidental discharges if one person is shot. So in the CNN article called School Killings in the U.S. Fast Facts, any and all these incidents of firearm discharges, including accidental discharge, are considered gun violence. According to CNN's gun violence metrics, it would appear that if 2 people, because there are 2 people in a field that's technically on school property, and one person is accidentally discharges a firearm, shooting but not necessarily killing another person, you're supposed to consider that a school shooting and a form of gun violence. So this type of skewed qualifying further fuels the false anti-gun narrative. So
That's weird.
yeah, well, it's like they can basically qualify anything as a school shooting.
Right.
But and the whole thing is, we talk about the Gun-Free School Zones Act. The whole thing is they're perpetuating all this stuff. Go ahead.
If people were just allowed to carry on school grounds, you can't even go past the road onto a school.
I know.
No.
You can't even leave it in your car and go into school.
Right.
Safe zone.
Yeah.
But that's not very safe.
No.
Exactly.
Joe.
And they see the killings over and over, and they don't do anything about it.
No. They blame the object.
There's been a considerable amount of rhetoric by some publications when using a photo of Rupp now at the firing range. So there's another piece of propaganda they were using. Now, here's a picture of her at the range shooting skeet. Now, any normal person would look at that and say, okay, it's a kid training doing skeet. And you can see the clay in the air, and you can see it doesn't look. But you know what the caption, the headline was, or not the headline, but in the article, they showed this picture and they said,
She's a trained killer.
they said, quote, Rupp now was encouraged by her father to practice her weapons handling skills in the months leading up to Monday's bloodshed.
I would sue the
And that's-
hell out of them. You just basically blame the father for
Yeah.
the killing.
Yeah.
When all he's doing is doing sport skeet shooting with his daughter.
Yeah,
That's
they-
all he's doing.
Well, making sure that she knows how to use the weapon, right?
Right.
If she's
My
gonna
son
have
goes
it, she
to the
should know how to
range,
use
and I
it.
teach him gun safety. That's. I'm not training him to be a killer.
Right.
I don't say, "Hey, son, just think about that as someone's head over there." I mean, what the hell?
That's your kindergarten teacher.
That's the libs who just want to demonize gun ownership.
Wow.
It's that way with everything, though. You know what I mean? I've seen a couple things this week that just sparked my memory about how people are talking about things in ways that, like, oh, we want to make this look like it's a really bad thing. When, like, no, that's the normal thing that happens for responsible people. It's not them being bad,
Right.
just that you don't like what they're doing.
Right.
That's on you. It's
Right.
not on them.
So
And if
you're
you don't, F off. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Nice.
So you spin it in a way that makes it all scary and twisted out of contortion. And
All she's doing is shooting at Clay.
this type of narrative is very typical of the right, exactly. And it should look like a proper
Unless
training.
it's
I
the
didn't see
student's
anything.
head
Yeah.
painted on it. You know what I mean? I'm surprised they didn't do that.
It encourages the reader to believe that the father was training her to kill.
Wow.
This
I would
also-
so sue
Kill
them.
that clay pigeon.
Also demonizes the idea of parents training their children for improper firearm use. So this is interesting too. They've been trying to get parents to stop training kids, and that's one of the things. They don't want the next generation coming up. So they make it really difficult, for kids to even go into the gun some states, kids can't even go into the gun shops unless they're accompanied, and they just make it difficult because they don't want this generation to raise the next generation of gun owners. And this is just one of the things. So Chief Barnes acted quickly in what appears to be the protection of a political narrative that went against the left. He dismissed the idea that the killer was transgender when the topic came up. Now, so that's another thing. Now, I'm not saying it's true or whatever, but the topic did come up that was she a transgender or whatever. And the chief urged the public to disregard online speculation that the killer was a transgender when he said, I don't think whatever happened today has anything to do with how she or he or they may have wanted to identify. He also said, I wish people would kind of leave their own personal biases out of this. So Barnes, the chief there in that photo, rejected accusations that the killer was transgender, whether it was true or not, I don't know, but welcomed the idea that firearm manufacturers might share in the responsibility for the act of violence when he said, quote, we have asked our partners with the ATF to expedite what's called an ATF trace form to try and determine the origin of that weapon, who purchased it, and how it got from a manufacturer all the way to the hands of a 15-year-old girl. So to me, when I read that, I was like, why is it necessary to bring the manufacturer in? Why?
It's not their fault.
Right.
All they are is they're just capitalizing on the sale of their gun. That's it. After it leaves their shop, that has nothing to do with it.
They would love to be able to sue manufacturers, but we got the PLCAA, which you can't do it.
Yeah.
They hate that. But then, so, and this, I'm reading all this stuff because I want people to understand that everything that was said from these officials seems to be very politically biased around this situation. Probably the reason why we haven't seen it in the news. It faded away because it didn't fit the narrative that they were hoping. So the Madison mayor, Satya Rhodes Conway, couldn't resist getting involved in the anti-gun rhetoric when she said, quote, "I'm on record that I think we need to do better in our country and our community to prevent
Gun violence.
And
we didn't even read it ahead of time.
we didn't even have to hear you say it. We already knew what she was going to say. Her favorite word.
Conway also made it a point that this incident is, quote, a reminder of the need to reform. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Quote, a reminder of the need for reform to stop
Gun violence.
Gun violence. Oh, these people, they don't stop. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel made it a point. Here's another thing. To publicly announce Conway as, quote, the first out lesbian elected as a mayor in Wisconsin.
Why do they have to do that?
Do we have a picture of her?
No
She
one-
does look like a lib.
No, look at the neck on that thing. That's Jeffrey Giraffe.
What's that say? Support black women?
or something.
What does that mean?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Don't support sick black women?
Yeah, I don't know what that shirt is.
What an idiot. Why do they always got to come out with that? Oh, the first, who cares? No one cares
It's
if
a
you're the first.
milestone.
They're a
anything.
bunch of left-wingers.
It's a milestone in their brain.
A bunch of left-wingers controlling the narrative around this school killing, which is awful. I mean, any kind of killing like this is awful, but the way they take it and they spin it and they do it. Go ahead, whatever you want.
It's Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
They're just idiots. I can't believe it.
There was
It's like, hey, I'm the first. Who cares?
there was a clip in
gun violence.
remember the clip in Wayne's World? I know Danny remembers this,
Yeah,
where the band is going, or Wayne says it's Milwaukee, and Alice Cooper says, well, actually,
It's Milwaukee.
it's Milwaukee. Alice Cooper, all sophisticated. We'll play that clip.
So, do you come to Milwaukee often?
Well, I'm a regular visitor here, but Milwaukee has certainly had its share of visitors. The French missionaries and explorers were coming here as early as the late 1600s to trade with the Native Americans.
In fact, isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Miliwake, which is Algonquin for the good land.
I was not aware of that.
Anyway, love Alice Cooper. But anyway, so the irony of this whole incident is the fact that the school was a gun-free zone and teachers were unarmed, helpless, and unable to protect the children. Of course, there was no talk of this by any of the elected officials. So nobody ever said, well, it was a gun-free zone and everybody was unarmed, so what do we expect? Nobody said that. Anyway, what are your thoughts? It's all you guys.
Well, I just love how the chief says that, oh, everybody was a target, but she literally walked in there and went and killed two people that she wanted to kill.
Right.
She didn't kill anybody else. She didn't shoot at anybody else. So what are they talking about?
Yeah.
She killed a teacher and a student. So something went on.
Maybe we don't know.
Yeah, and they'll never know. But because she can't talk, she's dead.
Yeah, and they won't talk.
And they
even
won't
if
talk.
they do know.
Even the parents probably don't even know.
It's a mystery.
It's all to chip away at our gun rights. Everything, all the way they spin it, is another way of just piling on more reason for more gun regulations and stuff like that. But you want to know who's fighting for your gun rights? Gun Owners of America. GOA is the no compromise gun rights group, so I urge you to become a member at gunowners.org. What have they done? Well, GOA secured a preliminary injunction against the ATF pistol brace rule. GOA members submitted a record 85,000 plus comments opposing the ATF's universal registration check rule. They helped enact permitless carry in Nebraska and Florida. GOA secured victories in California, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Plus, they won 2 legal victories against the ATF's zero-tolerance policy, and GOA fought to overturn Joe Biden's ban on funding hunter education, shooting sports, and archery in schools. So with the constant attacks on our Second Amendment, we often ask ourselves, well, what can I do about it? Well, this is what you can do. You can become a member at gunowners.org and help us save the Second Amendment. So there you have it. We'll move on. We got a ton of stuff to get to today. So the big news on the 1st of January were the 2 violent incidents. And we just talked about the school killing that was just like disappeared, gone out of the media. Nobody wants to talk about it anymore because new things have happened. It's actually amazing the way we're like trained rats. The next thing.
School killing? Greenland. I don't know. It's hard to choose what to look at, Fighting for our news attention.
Well, one was clearly a terrorist attack by a radical Islamic terrorist, but the second one has been more confusing. You have that photo of that Tesla? So we had a Tesla car blow up in front of a Trump hotel in Vegas, and it was a retired Army officer named Matthew Leivelberger with a bullet wound to the head. Now, the bullet wound looked self-inflicted, and the car was blown up with a multiple selection of different explosives, like gasoline, propane, even fireworks. I have a bunch of questions about what happened here. Like why would the guy light the explosives and then kill himself simultaneously?
And then toast yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And there is what was believed to be his last email, and if this email is real, he had a dire warning for America. So I'll read the email, and we can discuss the points along the way. Did you guys read this email? He says, in case I don't make it to my destination point or on to the Mexico border, I'm sending this now. Please do not release this until January 1st. Keep my identity private until then. First off, I'm not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we've been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered by aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast, but throughout history, the U.S., and only we in China have this capability. Our OPCEN location for this activity is in the boxes below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As for now, it's just a show of force, and they're using it similar to how they use the balloon for SIGINT, which is signals intelligence, and ISR, which is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, which are also part of the integrated comm system. He says there are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. You guys stop me anytime if you want to discuss any bit of this. Because of the speed of the stealth of these unnamed AC, they are the most dangerous threat to national security that's ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they want. It's checkmate, he says. USG needs to give the history of this, how we're employing it and weaponing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. He says, I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I'm armed and I have a massive VBIED, vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile, and I've kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. What did you guys get from this? So I have a little bit more here, but I wanted to see what you thought.
Ooh, tinfoil hat, that guy.
You think so? Okay.
He's got some problems.
What are your thoughts? You don't think China is up to anything?
I think China's doing what he's
Probably.
saying.
They took the holidays off, though, thank God, right?
They did?
Well, drones went away over the holidays. There was no
Yeah,
drones.
that's another story. Oh, all of a sudden, drones are gone.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens after Trump gets in office. See if the drones pop back up.
Well, he says he has, in this email, he continues on and he says, I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province in Afghanistan 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. He says, I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of CIVCAS that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. USFORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with USFORA. I don't know what that is, USFORA. An agent redacted of the DEA. He says, so I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. So I didn't know he was abducted. Were you on mic when you said that? Go ahead.
Maybe U.S. Army, Europe, and Africa, or I don't know what that stands for.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll put that.
It looks like U.S. forces, Afghanistan, and resolute support.
Okay.
Transition of something.
Okay. He says he worked with General Millers. He says, I owe staff on this as well as the response to the Bala Murgab. And then he says AOB-S commander at the time, redacted. I redacted the names here. Can validate this. He said, you need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. And then he goes on to list his LinkedIn profile and stuff like that. I don't know. Is this a bunch of crap?
Well, he killed himself, right? So we'll never know.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? If you're going to prove a point, I mean, I don't know. It's just.
Well, they were after me, according to him, so.
Okay, well.
He
He could have stood outside the car when it blew up, and everybody would have seen it on the news, and they would have known who he was. I don't even know how that stuff works.
Well, there's also talk that maybe he was already killed, and somebody remotely drove the car and put it in position because I guess those Teslas you can
see pretty slick.
You can remotely drive them, or they can. I don't know. Maybe you can program them; and they can drive themselves. I'm not sure.
But he never said why Trump Hotel.
He didn't say anything in the email. Yeah. I mean, we're speculating. I hate to speculate on something like this.
Yeah, I mean, why did he drive to that hotel? There was no mention of him hating Trump anywhere.
Yeah. I wonder if this
right there's a little fishy.
Is this going to be another one that just goes away?
Oh, yeah. Just like the Vegas shooter. Remember that?
Yeah. We still don't know anything.
That's gone. That went away faster than, a turd down the toilet.
But they managed to try to do a bump stock legislation out of it.
You got to get some good out of it. You can't let a good crisis go to waste, right?
Unreal.
Yeah. Speaking of gun legislation, the Cali key, this device right over my shoulder, there it is, the Cali key, removes your AR from the definition of assault weapon. So did you know that when so-called assault weapon ban lists are created, they exclude manually operated bolt-action firearms? So just by dropping this Cali key into your direct impingement AR in place of your semi-automatic BCG, you'll have a bolt-action rifle that falls outside the definition of so-called assault weapon. You don't need to do anything else. So give the Cali key a look, because with it, you could retain all your rifle's features, avoid registration complications, revive your black rifle sales as an FFL, regain the ability to do private party transfers, legally transport across hostile jurisdictions, hunt with your AR in areas like Pennsylvania, enhance long-range precision and quiet or suppressed shooting. Cali Key has state-specific expert attorney opinions on its website, which is very important, and supports grassroots Second Amendment organizations with its sales. Cali Key's mission is to empower customers and claw back our civil liberties. So go to calikey.com and use the discount code LOADED. calikey.com, discount code LOADED. So, anyway, there you have it. I just wanted to bring it up, show the email, and so people know, because at a certain point, this is going to all be gone, and at least we have documented it, and maybe we can go back and revisit it at a later date and try to figure out what really happened, because I think it's going to be a major cover-up.
I think you're right.
It's already not even in the news anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you got the wildfires in California because
wildfires.
there's no water in the reservoir, so the hydrants are all not working.
They're flipping out over Trump, wanting to buy Greenland.
I said you got fires coming up, and there's no water for the hydrants. The hydrants are all empty, but you hook up to them, nothing comes out.
Oh, well, I like
Stupid.
I love this stupid generation of idiots that we have in this country. So I saw a video of two morons and a dog in their house in the Palisades with the fire around them, making a video. You're an asshat. So let me get this straight. You didn't vacate,
No.
but you're gonna take a video of your last day on Earth because
With
you're
your
too
dog.
stupid to leave your house, and the fire is like swirling around the house.
Well, that seems like TikTok is more important than.
Well, when you're dead, it doesn't matter. He got 3 million views. Well, guess what? Bobby didn't make it.
Yeah.
And the poor dog's probably sitting there going,
Why do I have to
Really?
die? You're right.
You have a fire suit for
Really?
the dog? Or
Why do
no?
I have to die? I didn't do it on them. It's stupid. I want to get the hell out of here.
yeah, they're making a video of themselves on the fire. You can see the fire just tornadoing around their house. And I'm just like, you really are dumb.
They don't take it seriously, I guess.
I don't care about my house. I don't care about cars, anything. I'm leaving
With the dogs.
with the dog. I'm gone.
One under each arm.
You're not going to save your house, dude.
I don't know. I think that a lot of those people out there are crazy.
They are.
A lot of those California.
You got to be pretty crazy to make a video of yourself about to die.
Well, I got a story about some other crazy people. So apparently, if you are a regular restaurant, right, in America, the libs demand that you offer vegan options, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they always want to have their special vegan or
Have a salad, stupid.
Right, exactly.
Eggplant.
But if you're a vegan restaurant and you offer meat options, the libs will have you shut down.
What?
So here's
Can't have it both ways.
Here's an article from our friends at the New York Post. A popular vegan restaurant chain loses after angry customers mercilessly attacked it for putting meat on the menu. It was shutting its doors after years of financial struggles, but the final nail in the coffin came from angry vegans who began attacking the company when it put meat on the menu. Sage Regenerative Kitchen and Brewery will close Sunday after 14 years, a move its owner, Molly Englehart, told Eater was a sad victory for the vegans who came out in droves to protest the eatery's decision to start serving bison burgers, cheese, and other vegan fare in an effort to draw new customers. So here you have a restaurant who's starting to fail financially, and they realize that
Okay.
maybe we start bringing in some normal people who actually eat normal food, put a little on the menu there, but the libs couldn't have it. Go ahead.
So now the vegans have nowhere to eat.
Now they got nowhere to eat.
It's just how stupid
They're
these people
stupid.
are.
They're totally
it's
stupid.
a loss, lose situation in most of these cases.
Everybody
right?
loses.
Everybody loses.
But it's like exerting that protest power that they.
But they don't see that lose-lose situation. They see we won, and now they're gone. But now I don't have anywhere to eat.
While the restaurant with locations in Echo Park and Pasadena was one of California's most beloved plant-based bistros, it had struggled with rent and taxes for some time. Then last year, Englehart and her husband, co-owner Elias Sosa, sold their home to put money back into the company in an effort to revive it. They sold their home to try to revive it, and then these knuckleheads get them shut down in the end. In May 24, Sage added meat and cheese to its vegan menu. Englehart said it was all grown with regenerative farming methods, which are meant to have less environmental impact than traditional farming. There's a quote here. I thought maybe we could merge these two things, my restaurants and my passion for regenerative agriculture, and come to some new pathway. The change, however, failed to draw in new customers, and it upset existing vegan diners. Furious vegans review bombed the restaurant with 1-star reviews. Here's one. We'll never eat here now that they serve meat. I'm sure y'all lost a lot of our vegan base when you added meat. Disgraceful, one reviewer said on Yelp. One person said, I brought all my friends here to have meals, and it was a safe and delicious place for vegans. You've turned on your core roots and the animals in a way that's so disappointing. There you have
These
it.
people are crazy,
They're
man.
crazy.
I don't know what to tell you about that.
They just want their way like little children.
But then if your restaurant doesn't offer vegan, then
That's what I said in the
piss
beginning.
off of you.
They demand that regular restaurants offer a vegan option.
But a vegan restaurant can't offer other.
Right.
Oh,
That's a double standard.
That's how it goes.
wow, pretty crazy.
Idiots, idiots, idiots everywhere. But not here, not on the loaded mic. So if you stick around, we'll be right back with some more enlightening conversation and exciting video.
The Cali Key removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. It lets you keep your rifle with all its features, avoid registration hassles, and transport in hostile jurisdictions. The Cali Key also lets you hunt in jurisdictions like Pennsylvania and enhances long-range precision shooting. Cali Key's expert legal opinions empower informed decisions, and sales help grassroots Second Amendment organizations. Cali Key is your tool to keep and equip your AR, empower yourself, and defend your civil rights.
Our founding fathers saw them coming over 200 years away. That's why they wrote the Second Amendment. Join us in the fight to preserve your gun rights and stop unconstitutional gun control. Gun Owners of America is the country's only no-compromise gun rights organization. Not only do we inform and educate, but we bring the fight to court and win. Your God-given right to keep and bear arms is our top priority. Become a member today and help us take back America. Join us at gunowners.org. LifeWave is a non-transdermal patch that allows your body to produce its own natural pharmacy through light energy. Now, the X39 patch tells your body to emit heat in the form of light, which reflects back into your body, elevating a certain copper peptide. Now, this peptide activates your stem cells, which are the only type that can move throughout your body to heal inflammation. LifeWave offers an affordable membership and has a history of wellness that spans 20 years. It's been around since 2004 to help organizations like SEAL Team 6 and the Olympic swim team stay awake and alert. So today, these non-addictive patches are used by thousands of athletes and military professionals. LifeWave is available in over 80 countries, giving millions the opportunity of maximum wellness. So for more information, testimonials, patents, and studies, go to justpatch.biz. Justpatch.biz. All right, I think it's time for a woke patrol.
Woke Patrol.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
So I want to talk about the transvestite, transsexual, and gender dysphoria issues we have allowed to fester in our country. Now, we're no longer treating these issues seriously by addressing the mental component, but it seems we are more than willing to alter God's work by implementing hormone-altering drugs that go against the biological makeup of the person and going as far as surgical procedures for people who could really use some psychological help with what sometimes a real issue that they're struggling with, or hormone therapy to enhance their actual gender. Often, I would guess, and for the most part, in recent years, what's called transgender appears to be nothing more for many people than the latest fashion trend, coupled with a low-level brainwashing to make the dressing up and pretending feel real in the minds of the people playing this strange game. Not only is the brainwashing implemented to make the actors feel justified in their behavior, but like many trends, it's positioned in a way that makes it trendy, cool, or popular. So throughout recent history, young people have participated in several different identity trends, from valley girls to tomboys to beta males to vampires, witches, and goth, all of which are trends that the actor grows out of, and we have never taken them too serious. So with trans, I believe that they believe their condition is real, but in many cases, it's something that they too will grow out of. The insanity has gone further than simply pretending to be the opposite sex. Now, in order to top the latest trans extreme, some are pretending that they have no sex at all, or that they have multiple sexes at the same time. Now, they talk like this, And for some strange reason, we accept this behavior and have come to even normalize it. Well, it's not normal, and it shouldn't be accepted as normal because those who believe their condition is real should be helped, and those who are playing this silly game for attention should be called out. So here's an example of what I believe to be a perpetrator of this ridiculousness.
I am trigender, which means like a triangle, I have 3 genders. Male, female, and non-binary. And the difference between trigender and gender fluid is that I feel all 3 of these genders at the same time, all the time. It doesn't ever shift or change, or where I feel one gender more strongly than the other, like gender fluid tends to be. Also, I should recognize and accept that a lot of people don't see non-binary as a 3rd gender. They see it as something completely separate from the binary of male and female. But for me, it's like a 3rd gender, or I guess you could call it a 3rd identity. I am trigender.
Is that anything like a 3rd nipple? What do you think? Go ahead.
I think we should go back 5 years and see what she looked like and see what her life was like that led her to that.
Yeah.
Like what makes you? I don't know what the usefulness of it is either. I don't really know.
So wait a minute.
Go. Oh no. Oh no. Here we go.
Okay, so she claims to be male, female, and non-binary.
Right.
She's multi.
So does she have a ding dong? Is she swinging a slang? Is she porking someone with the slanger?
She got a wiener and a vajayjay and nothing some days.
So some days it's just smooth like this table?
Both, like Barbie.
So basically you just sit there and rub it around like a crystal ball.
It's Ken
But then the next
Smooth.
day she's throwing her ding dong up your bong. John, you got to figure this out.
I can't figure
Come
it
on.
out. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff.
Isn't
I was
it?
raised a poor
She's doing it
child.
for attention.
I agree.
Look at her.
I think many of
She
them.
looks pathetic.
I think many of
She
them are
does.
doing it for attention. So, here's another clip of 2 women with beards.
Hot.
You used to have to go to the carnival to see this stuff. 2 women with beards who appear to be capitalizing on the trans movement. But in this case, they're pretending to be multiple genders at once, maybe to seek attention, maybe for monetary gain, but what looks clearly to be a way of mocking men, women, and God's creation. So Matt Walsh calls him out in this Dr. Phil interview. So credit to Matt. I really believe this. He deserves credit because he saw this stuff coming before anybody else. And he was out there getting ridiculed and getting beat down because he was calling out this insanity. And now a lot of us are coming around saying, yeah, Matt Walsh was right. So check this video out.
What is a woman?
Well,
can you tell me what a woman is?
No, I can't. Because it's not for me to say. Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what does a female mean?
Well,
how do you define a female?
Someone with female reproductive organs.
Okay.
Someone who's, here's the thing. When you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies, we can dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
Interesting. So I'm trying to understand. Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct. Is a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? Cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not myself.
You used the word, so what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right. So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people who...
That describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently. And so trans women are women too.
How do you not want to punch that dude?
And you want to hold on. You want to reduce.
You
Listen.
won't even tell me
You
what
want
the
to
word
reduce.
means, though. So
You
that's
want to
the
reduce
problem.
women. You want to reduce men down to maybe just their genetics, our genitals,
No.
our chromosomes, right? That's what you're
What
saying.
you want to do is
that's what
what you want to do is appropriate women. You want to appropriate womanhood.
Okay.
And turn it into basically a costume that can be worn.
Exactly.
We've got when
Exactly. That person there, the long hair and the beard, is corrupting basic knowledge and trying to normalize something that's just impossible. For what? I don't really know. What are your thoughts?
Well, it used to be called mental illness,
gender dysphoria, right?
So it's not a normal thing. So they're just trying to make it normal, right?
Trying to
And
normalize it.
whatever I feel is normal. That's the whole
And
trend.
you need to believe it with me. You're trying to force it on you.
But that girl with the beard, the long hair,
Is
and
that
the
a
beard,
girl or is that a boy?
I would say that's a girl. To me, that looked
What do you
like.
think? Is that a guy?
I don't know.
With woman features, or is it a woman who grew a beard?
I think it's a woman who grew a beard. That's what it looks like to me.
I don't know.
But
she's got us confused.
Regardless, right? But regardless,
That's the idea, I think.
I mean, the only way to really tell is to,
The Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
But pick the side that you were born. You know, why do they have to mix it up? And there's something more to this whole gender thing by mixing it up. There's something more sinister to it that we're not even touching on. There's a reason for this in our society, and is it evil? Is it go against the Bible? If you're a Christian, I don't know why they're doing it, but it's twisted and it's wrong. And
there you go.
How he could have explained it perfectly to it is, okay, say we found an island, right, that we want to populate. We put 100 men and 100 transgender women on there. Who are we going to have in 100 years?
Nothing.
200 dead bodies.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be nothing. You can't procreate with a man. A man, like Congress, a woman there, doctor, says that a man can get pregnant. He can have anal birth. Listen, I want to see that. If a man can pop a baby out of his butt, I'm in.
Oh my
Poor
God.
kid.
I'm in.
We're going off the rails.
But there's
already.
a doctor that was testifying in front of Congress that said a man can have anal birth.
Unbelievable. They want to normalize this more than anything.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, see, again,
I don't.
If
See
there
what
were,
Arnold Schwarzenegger did with that stupid movie when
What's
he was
it?
pregnant? Remember? 3 Men. What was that movie that he was when he was pregnant?
I don't know.
He had a movie where he was pregnant.
Danny?
Really?
Danny Danny
would
knows.
know.
He knows all the movies.
Whatever.
He doesn't know. Okay.
I don't know.
But these are the people that are Roman. These are doctors who were saying this stupid crap.
Junior, what is he? Are you on mic?
Junior.
Junior.
Yeah.
I got to watch that. Again, if there was no media, there would be none of this.
Oh.
There would be nothing.
Oh, right,
If you were
right.
all raised in caves on an island someplace, none of this would even
right, 'cause you'd have no
exist.
stage
You would
to
have
present this nonsense.
Right, and you'd have nobody telling you that things that don't exist can exist, you know? So, I don't know.
People keep giving them a stage.
Well, did you guys see the movie? What is a woman? Matt Walsh. He goes to these totally uncivilized areas in like Africa.
Oh, right.
And he says, the question was, what was the question? Like, can a woman or can a man give birth or something like that? Can a man turn into a woman? And they were like just laughing at it. It's so ridiculous. But here in our society, we perpetrate this nonsense. And not only do we normalize it, we get bashed for calling it out and criticizing it.
But in Africa, if you said that stuff, they'd probably kill you.
Yeah.
I think it's all because our food supply is poisoned. That's what I think it is.
Ours?
Yeah, that's how is that normal? It doesn't make any
Like I said earlier, that's the stuff you used to go to see at the carnival.
Well, Dr. Phil probably has spoken out on some of this stuff. Right? I mean, that was him. That's his show. I wonder what I haven't watched regular TV in a long time, but I would like to see what he thinks about all this stuff.
When did that stop? Like the bearded woman in carnivals. When did like?
Well, when
we're
they-
old enough.
when they stopped carnivals. They don't do that stuff anymore. God, there's so many limitations on what they can do at a carnival.
Yeah, but we're
now.
old enough to remember it, right? I don't know if you. I just barely remember when I was a kid going to a carnival and seeing the bearded woman.
Yeah, they had them, but not anymore. Can't do that now.
So what are we talking about? Into the 80s, maybe?
Probably late 70s.
Yeah, because he's younger than both of us.
Well, he's an ancient Chinese secret.
Ancient Chinese.
Oh.
Woo! 5-10 minute.
Oh.
All right. Well,
we love you a long time.
So we talk about this stuff and how it's not normal and not afraid to call it out as ridiculous. A lot of it's just fake attention seeking and all this stuff. So I got one more clip regarding this. Here's a clip from PragerU calling out the doctors who have participated in this circus and have mutilated children in the process for what? Money, politics. Watch this.
This is a medical scandal, a man-made catastrophe that has shattered many lives, not only of young people, but of those who love them. My colleagues, who should be protecting vulnerable kids like Rosa, are complicit in this atrocity. Some by writing prescriptions, others with a scalpel, but the majority by witnessing the evil and remaining silent. But there is reason for hope. The most comprehensive review yet of gender-affirming care was recently commissioned by the National Health Service in Great Britain. Dr. Hilary Cass, former president of Britain's Royal College of Pediatrics, analyzed data from England's Tavistock Gender Clinic, the largest in the world until it was shut down in 2024. Her report is a scathing indictment of the clinic's practices. She demonstrates there is no evidence medical interventions benefit gender-distressed young people. What the kids need, Dr. Cass concludes, is counseling. Great Britain, Norway, Finland, Sweden, and Denmark have essentially stopped medical treatment of teens whose bodies are 100% healthy and are focusing on their minds and hearts. The Netherlands, France, and Belgium are not far behind. In March of 2024, a report in France described sex reassignment in minors as potentially one of the greatest ethical scandals in the history of medicine. But in the US and Canada, I'm sorry to say, it's full steam ahead. How do we stop this runaway train? As a doctor, I'm going to put responsibility on my colleagues. Do your research. You're not hearing the other side of the debate. Read the Cass report. Your medical associations have lost their way. Understand, this is not about compassion and rights. It's about tyranny. Stand up to the activist bullies. Speak out against the sacrifice of children on the altar of a perverse political agenda.
See, now she's going to be the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
For that.
She has a difference of opinion.
Well,
our country, they're just nuts here.
But we're just calling out the truth. I mean, we're calling out we're calling out reality, and the narrative has gone so far away from reality that anybody who calls out reality is the bad guy.
It's because, like most things, if you have the audacity to question what some people think, they want to shut you down.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God things like that are changing. No stuff even on Facebook recently, right? They're starting to change some stuff so that, you know, they're not going to be shutting people down just for saying something that somebody else doesn't like.
Right.
Get over it. Or
Right.
do something about it, become proactive and do what you want to do. But that doesn't mean that I have to believe a certain way or but I'm glad all those clinics and all that stuff are getting shut down because who knows how much damage is being done. What's going to happen 20 years from now when all these kids who have had surgery and stuff wake up one morning and go, oh, wow. I know a lot of people locally, one person in particular is like, maybe I shouldn't have done this surgery. Okay.
You think?
You think?
It's too late.
Too late. It is too
Why
late.
would you mutilate yourself?
Once you get your wiener sliced, poked, and stuffed, you're done. You can't bring it back.
And not only that, can you imagine all the side effects from that? All the issues you got to deal with for the rest of your life, infections and abscess and whatever, all sorts of nonsense that happens down there because it wasn't designed that way. You're trying to fabricate something that just doesn't belong there. It's So wrong. And then my big argument is, okay, so you got a girl or a boy, a teenager, young teen or whatever, who thinks that they're the opposite gender, whatever, and there's hormone therapy. Well, why don't they just give the hormone therapy to the gender that they already are? Help them feel more
give them testosterone
content,
for the man and make them make them more
content in their own body,
right?
Rather than
trying to make them grow boobs,
forcing them to feel even more out of their body by pushing them, pushing them to the
wrong direction,
right? Push them in the wrong direction, exactly.
That's nuts.
Because they want to slow down population. How do you control population?
That maybe
Gotta make room for immigrants.
You tell these people that there's something, give them whatever they want.
I even think it's more sinister than that. There's something else going on. I wish I knew. I wish I could figure this out, because it's really probably the most sinister thing that I've ever seen.
Yep.
You got women out there chopping their boobs off, and it looks awful. You don't look like a dude.
Yeah.
You don't look like a dude.
I mean, it looked like the doctor just took his samurai sword and just chopped you up. He didn't do a good job.
Well, the boys or men who are having stuff removed, to me, that's even worse.
I can't understand it.
I
can't even imagine, right?
Because you can't come back from it.
It's not like it's going to grow back.
No, and you can't untuck it and sew it back up and think it's going to, stand at attention again. It's not going to happen.
Gross.
Oh, man.
And they said the suicide rate of these people is astronomical.
Yeah, of course. Because they realize that they screwed up, but they've been led by the political left and a fake narrative and a media that doesn't give a crap, doesn't give a rat's ass about them.
Oh.
The media is just, they're probably loving this transgender stuff because they get to capitalize it on every day and make money and get views and hits and all that stuff.
Terrible.
But the kids are suffering. They're going to suffer. And on one hand, I look at the people doing this, acting like this, like that trigender girl, and I'm like, you're going to get what you deserve. But then on the other hand, I have a kid, and if that was my kid, I would actually have more compassion for. So I have a compassionate side for these people, and then I have a side that says, wake the hell up. Right, exactly.
Snap out of it.
I saw a video of a woman. They were at one of those rallies where they had a 15-month-old baby, and she wants to be a boy because she told us. Really? I want to hear that 15-month-old kid tell you that they want to be a girl or a boy. That's where that baby needs to be taken away from those people.
And what about some of these actresses? I forget. Was it Angelina?
Oh, everybody's coming out.
Was it
now.
Angelina Jolie? She's got like 2 or 3 kids, all transgender. Danny, can you verify that? Was it Angelina Jolie?
It is Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. They don't even associate with him anymore because he's so against
like
it.
all their kids are transgender. Give me a break.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that happening?
Trillions to one. Never, ever,
That's just
ever,
Hollywood
ever
being
happened.
stupid.
It's being stupid.
Just like Reese Witherspoon's daughter's coming out. Who gives a shit, dude? Do you care? Do you care?
I don't care.
I don't care. No one cares.
Nobody cares.
Stop telling us we don't care. Just go about your stupid life and, crunch and munch and call it a day.
Crunch and munch. What does that mean? Crunch and munch. Oh, my God.
we
All
need
right.
cameras in Anthony's house. That's what we need.
All right.
Just insane. The whole
It is.
world's going mad. But we're bad people because we think that.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And I'm tired of that.
We
If you
call
don't
it
like
out.
how I feel about it, then don't talk to me. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't bother your kind. I don't go and protest your crap. Just do what you're doing. Shut up about it.
Well, New York City is
a dump.
Which direction do you think the crime rate is going?
Oh, way downhill. Didn't they just set a woman on fire on the train and people watch? And let me ask you this question, Dan.
Oh, no.
If you're on fire, how are you not taking your clothes off and running down the street naked? How do you sit there on fire
and just burn?
Yeah,
I don't.
Like seriously.
First thing I want to do is
Take your damn clothes off and run. I don't understand that. I to this day, I think he killed her first and set her on fire.
Well,
because there's
or
no
she
way
could-
if you're on fire, you're gonna sit there and be like,
Well, was she laying down? Was she,
hot
I
in
didn't
here.
see. I didn't really watch the video. I saw a little bit of it because she could have passed out from the pain.
Oh yeah.
Because that much pain, your brain shuts down. So she could have been in a state of.
But he just lit her clothes on fire, right?
Yeah.
He didn't use an accelerant.
As far as I know, right? Wow. You would have probably caught it, and you would have said.
You would have.
She was sleeping.
But you're still going to wake up from smell and smoke.
You would think.
Maybe she was on drugs or something. Who knows?
She was homeless. Yeah. So you don't know. Maybe she was on drugs, or maybe she had some serious mental issues.
Then you got people making video.
Yeah, and the guy's fanning her to make her flame up more. And nobody's helping her.
No, that's the problem with society. Because nobody wants to get involved because of what happened with that
The
guy.
first thing I would have done is taken my jacket or my shirt and try to put her out.
Look what happened to that subway guy who killed that guy from
Ends up
keeping him
going
from killing other people.
Going to court, he had to fight for his.
He spent millions of dollars on what? Self-defense? People don't want to get involved anymore.
Well, here's a headline from New York Post. Inside New York City's deadliest police precinct where fruit vendor was beaten to death. Innocent dad fatally stabbed. They say if you bump into someone, they want to kill you. Hardworking fruit stand seller so savagely beaten that his family needed to cover his bashed-in head with a fedora at his funeral. An innocent 29-year-old dad, excited for his daughter's upcoming third birthday, murdered by a vicious gangbanger. An autistic, obsessive, compulsive man bleeding out in his lobby after inadvertently moving his killer's backpack. These were some of the crimes in the NYPD's deadliest area in 2024, the Bronx 46th precinct, which saw 27 homicides and 65 people shot, leaving cops calling for more resources and locals afraid to walk the blood-soaked streets. Well, that's what you get when you defund the police, right?
But hey, Hochul's got your $9 coming to Manhattan.
Big time.
That's all she cares
Is
about.
that AOC's area? Where is
That
she?
rat-faced garbage can. They're charging you $9 to drive into Manhattan.
God. Well, okay. Danny wants us to wrap up, but just wanted to bring up this New York City. It's just in the precinct, the major crimes are up in every category. Murders up 107%, rape up 54%, robbery up 9%, felony assault up 11%, burglary up 29%, and grand larceny up 21%. Just insanity in New York City. I don't know why anybody would want to live
crime
there.
is down.
Yeah,
Boycott
Hochul
'em.
says crime
Don't
is
go
down.
there.
Anyway, thanks for watching the show today. We are on Rumble and YouTube and all the social medias. The podcast can be found on, I think, every podcast platform or close to it. So check us out and you can also go to loadedmic.com. Loadedmic.com. Thanks, and my name is Dan Wass. The Second Amendment is not a privilege; it's your right.